Budgets for the Wisconsin school districts are tight, with many Northwood schools cutting programs in recent years.
One local school district made their frustrations known yesterday when they shared their thoughts on how the state government can better support public schools. Newswatch 12's Nick Van Zyl was at the hearing yesterday and has more. Nick?
Thanks, Dan and Jessica. Wisconsin's Joint Committee on Finance held its final public comment session Wednesday. The School District of Antigo sent their Director of Business and 2 school board members to the hearing. They were among the first to speak, asking the committee members for specific changes to how the state funds schools.
We respectfully ask the state to do what it has talked about.
With pandemic funding ending, the Antigo School District is asking the state for help. Katie Ann Ostringa had suggestions which could help other districts like Antigo's.
The School District of Antigo, like many school districts in Wisconsin, are facing what everyone is kind of prefacing as a fiscal cliff.
That's because the one-time pandemic funding sources, like the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, are no longer available.
We were requesting specifically on low revenue ceiling a $1,500 increase to kind of raise those low revenue ceiling districts up and provide equitable funding across the state for our students.
The governor has proposed raising funding for all school districts $1,000. But school board member Kristen Matt-Miller says that doesn't close the gap.
Schools like us that are getting the least amount are still getting the least amount. So there is a broad range of an amount per student that we're getting where we're at the low end.
Another suggestion was raising special education reimbursement rates.
We are reimbursed about 30% for our special education costs, and then the rest of it has to come from our general fund. And so what that means is for each regular student, education student, we take about $1,600 from the money we would use for them to fund our special education services.
Their final request was about the Wisconsin retirement system regulations that restrict employment for retired teachers.
We're asking that the state remove those barriers and allow for us to hire substitutes that have been prior teachers.
All board members of the School District of Antigo were in support of the recommendations to the committee.
With this fiscal cliff coming in, that funding ending, we really need the state to come good on what they haven't done the last 2 years, where they've provided us no kind of funding increase.
The committee's next steps in the budget process is to discuss and vote on the changes to the governor's proposed budget. That vote could come as early as next Tuesday.